Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to Noontime Kapehan, brought to you by Decaf Coffee Republic, our coaching hub and home of certified life coaches here in the Philippines, and it is where I am presently located. So we are now on our month 2. We're here in Noontime Kapehan, our daily coaching conversation, reliving the Kapehan Night of by Master Coach A, where she talks about life, love, relationships, money, career, and anything under the sun, and including the sun. So Kapihan Night used to come in live on floor and via FB every Tuesday night until the pandemic happened. So we are bringing in Noontime Kapihan for a season only while Brewing Live is taking a quarter break. So shout out to all my fellow game changers serving in this space and advancing life coaching. So if you find it in your heart to support the works that we do, you may give us stars or love gift through bank deposit. Just check the bank info in the caption of this video. So for your food and beverage, the cup is open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. for dine-in, pick-up, and delivery. So order through 0917-586-1661 and avail of free gratitude journal prompts for you or for someone you wish to bless during this time where stress is affecting many people. The practice of gratitude is proven to promote mental wellness. And of course, talking about mental wellness, Master Coach A has officially launched the Be Learning Society, which is the 10th maker of Be Learning Home for Mental Fitness, and D Cup Coffee Republic is hosting the Be Learning e-card that unlocks opportunities to smarter living with monthly perks. So first, you get 5% food and beverage discount from D Cup Coffee Republic. Second is Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach A, happening every third Saturday of the month. And third is a 90-minute coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. So for more information and registration assistance, connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661. So moving on, for today's episode, I will be sharing the invisible cages in life. So please do tag your friends and share this video link and invite others to join our conversation. And if you are watching this on a replay, comment hashtag replay and do let or send us a message if you wish to connect with any points that resonates with you. So the YouTube link where you can find the replay of all episodes of Noontime Kapihan is found in the caption of this video. So please do follow and subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified of all the future videos to stuff your digital space with valuable content. So I am Coach Candee from Life Coach Philippines. I am a professional life and mental health coach. I am also a proud Master Builder Apprentice of Master Coach A, and as um, Builder Apprentices, we build tribe as we help your unstoppable dream to come true. I am also a proud scholar of Master Coach A's Tribe Speak, a 6-step to 6-figure speaking career training program. And for this afternoon, I will be sharing with you the invisible cages in life. Ayan. So before I proceed, I would like to honor our learners for this afternoon. So, hello, Coach Mao. Coach Mao is already here. So, please do share with me what your thoughts about cages are, and if you, of course, want to um if you want to give an example of the invisible cages in our life or in your life, feel free to type it in the comment below. And of course, and I encourage you as well to get your hashtag pack my bag moment. So these are the aha points, key learnings, epiphanies, yung mga realizations that you get from this talk. And I encourage you to post this in your timeline so you get to bless other people as well. And hello, si Coach Sweetie is already joining us. Coach Cherry Minas, hola. Ayan. Again, my talk is the invisible cages in life. But for this, there are really many invisible cages in life. So if you can think of any invisible cage in your life, feel free to comment in below. But for this afternoon, I will be only sharing two invisible cages in life. And these two are often not realized as the cages of a person, no? And this cage usually imprisons us, and it doesn't allow us to really grow to our fullest potential. Ayan. So what is a cage? Before I proceed, let's first get a clear picture of what a cage is. So the purpose of a cage is it is an enclosure often made of mesh, bars or wires used to confine, contain, or protect something or someone. In a cage can serve many purposes, and this includes keeping an animal or person in captivity. So, and usually, no, if you can see this in zoo, usually you get to display animal at a zoo. And I don't know if you've been into, nakalimutan ko yun, no, sa Francisco ata yon. So there are as well prison cells that you can visit, but you can see the person inside of it. Ayan. So yun po yung purpose ng cage. And again, often it's made of mesh, bars, or wires. But often, I'd really like to paint a picture that your cage is made out of glass. O, social, di ba? So it's glass. So when we talk about glass, you can see through the other side, and it's as if there's no bars, no, so walang nakaharang sa view mo. So it's clear, and it's clear, it's just clear, and it's as if you're also part of the outside world. But in reality, di ba, you are not, because you are inside a glass cage. And that's what the picture of an invisible cage looks like. So we are made to believe that cages are used to protect us by keeping us inside of it. But in reality, it has enslaved us and it has imprisoned us. So, what is the first type of invisible cage that often people experience, but people do not really realize that these are cages for them? So the number one is pain. Pain, Pain, yes, pain, yan. So we all experience pain and even suffering at some time in our life. And while our natural, of course, reaction to pain is to avoid it, to flee from it, to get rid of it, or even for others though, they even get to numb themselves from pain. And oftentimes we are so engrossed with pain that we have this thinking that we are protecting ourselves from more pain if we don't get to share our emotions, share our experiences, we don't get to share our pain. And often we have that thought, no, that when we don't look into pain, we don't feel pain. But in reality, it creates more pain in us. So why? Because there is an importance of pain. Because pain is the body's built-in warning system that something is wrong and needs to be fixed. Ayan, ulitin natin. Pain is the body's built-in warning system that something is wrong and something needs to be fixed. So if you want to relate it into physical pain, di ba, pag may nararamdaman kang physical pain, it means that there's something wrong with your body. Like a good example of this is your back pain. Yung back pain kasi that's very common. So usually it tells you that muscles are stiff, or there are nerves that are pinched. And for others, no, it can be signs and symptoms of our illness, or that something is wrong with a certain organ in our body. So pain is the body's built-in warning system that something is wrong and needs to be fixed. So imagine it. Imagine na lang na pag wala, if you are numb to pain and you can't feel pain. So if you can't feel pain and if you are numb to pain, then you wouldn't really know that something is wrong with you, that something needs to be fixed in you. And as you continue on living in life with that, Imagine na lang kung anong mangyayari sa life. And then imagine that just someday your whole body, your whole system will just crumble down and collapse on you. Yan. So hello, Mayor. So Mayor Leonard is watching. Great afternoon. So when we keep on avoiding the pain naman and we do not look into what causes our pain, we don't get to fix it, and therefore we don't get to change it. And therefore, since it is present in our life and when we don't get to see it, we don't get to address it, we don't get to correct it, we don't get to change it, it continuously will happen in our life. So ito yung mga iniisip natin, bakit parang pattern na siya, bakit parang cycle na siya, no, na paulit-ulit na hindi mo maintindihan kung saan siya nagagaling. Then maybe it's time to really look into what are the pains that you are avoiding, or what are pains in your life right now, present in your life right now, that is hindering you from progressing, that is hindering you from growing, that is hindering you from moving on and letting go, no, and moving on towards the future. And the pain probably, no, can be pulling you towards the past and not really living in the present. And did you know that emotional pain lasts for 10 to 20 minutes only? So anything longer than that is actually self-inflicted by overthinking and making things worse. Again, emotional pain lasts for 10 to 20 minutes. Anything longer is actually self-inflicted by overthinking and making things worse. Yeah. So just like a normal cage, your pain has unknowingly become a cage, an invisible cage. Picture nga natin dyan, di ba? It's like a glass cage. We often think that we are protecting ourselves, but in reality, you are depriving yourselves. Alam mo yung nakikita mo lahat ng ganda sa mundo mo, but hindi mo talaga siya ma-experience, pero kitang-kita mo siya. So imagine how would that feel like? Not alam mo you are part of that world, but you can't seem to feel it, that you can't seem to grasp it, that alam mo yung gusto mong hawakan, nakikita mo kaya mong hawakan, pero hindi mo mahawakan, hindi mo talaga maramdaman. So you are depriving yourself, and you are depriving yourself from as well. When you don't get into looking into your pain, you deprive yourself from healing. Oftentimes people want healing, people want to recover, healing and recovery yan, but oftentimes people really avoids pain, and that it doesn't want to look into pain, what's causing pain in their life. So how can there be healing if you are not willing to look into what's causing pain in your life? Because for you to heal is for you to be able to stop whatever that is causing you pain in your life. So depriving yourself from the ability, eventually, no, you deprive yourself from the ability to live life, and you deprive yourself, of course, the ability to build authentic relationships, because in authentic relationships there is always risk to be hurt. There is always pain involved in terms of relationship, no, and being able, and just, just creating that barrier, creating that wall in protecting yourself doesn't allow you to really develop the kind of authentic relationship that you really want. And oftentimes when we are so engrossed in pain, we are not really willing to share our emotions, share our thoughts, because of the fear of people, judging us, people thinking things about us, and we think that it can add to more pain. But in reality, if you look at it, ano ba naman yung mas masakit, 'di ba? Is it more painful to be able to express yourself, or is it more painful to just be able to clam up and just don't express your true feelings, and you just go along with everyone's thoughts, with everyone's voice, and eventually you see that even your own voice is diluted, even your own voice, you couldn't even speak your own voice, and you wonder sino ka, ano ka, hindi mo nakilala ang sarili mo. So that is the first cage, invisible cage that we have in our life. It is pain. So before I proceed to the second cage, I'd like to say hello to Coach Tin, the couple coach. Hello, Coach Sean. Hello to Coach Marife. Hello, hello. Great afternoon. Now, The second cage, invisible cage in life, is what we call comfort. I'm sure you always hear this, no? That they say that life begins beyond your comfort zone, or life begins after your comfort zone, life begins outside of your comfort zone. Ayan yung mga iba-ibang versions. I'm sure you've heard it, but have you ever asked yourself, have you ever wondered and pondered what it really meant, and what it means into your life? Often we've sacrificed what makes us special for what makes us comfortable, because what makes us special allows us to stand out. What makes us special allows us to be able to really celebrate that difference, yung kakaiba sa atin. And of course, people just want to be able to fit in to the mold of society, because for them, no, they are thinking that pagkakaiba ka, malamang iba ka, di ba? But pagkakaiba ka, hindi ka belong. You don't belong in the society if kakaiba ka. That's why people will just often go into pleasing and being able to just fit in the mold, even if that is not their mold. So that it itself is an example of comfort. Now, when we talk about comfort, it's very broad, no, it's very wide. So but what I want to point out here is whatever makes you comfortable, because we do everything we can to make our lives comfortable. There's nothing wrong with it, but is it to the expense of allowing your culture, allowing your system, allowing your traditions, your family, and your society even, no, to dictate your life, rather than your own convictions, rather than your own values, rather than your own dreams? It may be comfortable. Yes, that may be a comfortable life. But the question is that really the kind of life you are meant to live? Is that the kind of life that you really want to live? Is it the kind of life to be comfortable but yet lose yourself? Is that the kind of life that you really want for yourself? Our comfort zones rarely offers us anything more than the physical comfort. It rarely does. You get that physical comfort, but you know you are deceiving yourself. Because when you choose to live within the constraints of your comfort, to choose your physical comfort, you as well deprive yourself of the life you deserve. The life that you know you can be, the person you know you can be, the quality of life that you truly want. So you want to be able to think of a lion. A lion is a very, very good example. A good example that is meant, right, to live in the wilderness, that is meant to hunt, that is meant to show its majesticness, that is meant to just roar and to run freely in the wild, no? And it's just, if you really hear a lion roar, if you watch, ako, I just watch it, no, I just watch lions from not geo wild, and you'll be really amazed of how majestic it is. Alam mo yung may tindig siya, there's a posture, there's an energy that the lion exudes, and that's its design. But imagine that lion taken into captivity, or you can just compare, no, a lion that roams in the wild versus a lion that is captive in a zoo. 'Di ba? Pag titingnan mo siya, alam mo yung mga lion sa zoo tamad. When I see tamad, it's just there sitting, it just yawns. I mean, you can really see it yawn. And usually when you hear something na the resemblance of a roar, that isn't really a roar, it's because a roar is done in wild yan, kasi they're showing their authority. Usually may ano yan, may kalaban sila. It's a fight for their authority, it's a fight for their place as the leader of a tribe. But in a zoo, it's just yawns lang yung naririnig natin na roar. So if you look at it, no, the lion in the zoo has become very comfortable. It has very comfortable because instead of hunting, it is fed, no? Pinapakain na lang. For others, I really saw some ano, no, takers, yung mga tawag dito, Yung mga caretakers, ayan, there are caretakers who are even able to pet lions. So instead of being hunting, it is being fed. Instead of having or creating its own tribe, it is just isolated and alone. So instead of roaring, di ba, roar, gumaganon, roar majestically, it is just it is just yawning. And instead of just of really ruling the jungle, ruling the wilderness, that lion is just reduced to nothing but a mere domesticated cat na malaki lang siyang pusa. So imagine that, alam mo yung picture that, and picture yourself like that. What is the greatest potential that you can be? That is the lion that is roaming free, that is roaming wild, that is roaring. And imagine you just settling for what makes you comfortable, for being molded and choosing to be inside the mold of society of what people dictate on you. So imagine that picture and imagine your life. Anong klaseng buhay ang gusto mo? What kind of life would you really want? Retreating to one's comfort zone means to deprive yourself of opportunity to grow, opportunity to learn, opportunity to discover yourself, opportunity to encounter yourself, opportunity to truly experience living life until you realize that all you deny yourself and exchange yourself for comfort, you will continue to live in comfort. You will continue to live in comfort. You will continue hurting yourself, and everything will just continue to eventually spiral down into a life of regrets and a life full of void. A life na puro na lang what ifs, I should have, I could have. Our life is made up of the choices that we make. From birth to now, every situations, every circumstances, every challenges is a matter of choice. You may not be born in a kind of life that you want, and again, it is not your choice. But you have the ability to be accountable and responsible for the kind of life that you want to have, and you are responsible and accountable for your very own choices, for the choices that you make. And in life, we only have two choices. The first one is to continuously live life as prisoners of your invisible cages, like what I've shared, it's pain and comfort, or experience living life to its fullest. The only certain thing about life is birth and death, and anything in between birth and death is what we call life. And again, in that life is it's comprised of the choices that you make. And in that life is where we each discover what living life truly means, what living life truly means, what greatness truly means for each and every one of us. So accept that life is a choice and it is your responsibility alone, because the only thing more terrifying than all of this is not taking action. Because without action, you get to risk a life of regret, which you can only admit on your deathbed. So, gusto mo pa bang dumating doon? Would you like, can you even picture what your deathbed would look like? Will it be full of greatness, of gratitude, of being able to truly know what it meant to live life, of taking risk, of making mistakes, but you grow instead? Or is it full of regrets? Mga sana ginawa ko to, sana pinursu ko, or the thought that ganito na lang ba ako mamamatay? Is that the kind of deathbed that you want for yourself? And I'd like to share with you the quote of Eddie Harris Jr. He said, "The sooner you step away from your comfort zone, the sooner you'll realize that it really wasn't all that comfortable." experience living life to its fullest. We as human beings are meant to continuously grow, continuously evolve. We are meant to discover life, live life to its fullest by fulfilling our purpose and living into our very own design. Embrace and accept that life in itself is uncomfortable. Life in itself is full of risk. Growth can only be found beyond the familiar safety net of your comfort, of your pain, of your invisible cages. Life is uncomfortable, and one of the most, of course, rewarding things you can do for yourself is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because again, life is uncomfortable. So if you truly want to live life, life is uncomfortable, then become comfortable being uncomfortable. So stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited of what could go right in your life. Remember that we give up what we want to give up. We keep what we want to keep. We stay where we want to stay. There are payoffs for choosing to let go and choosing to hold on. You don't have to take responsibility for whatever life throws at you, but you are capable. And if you want to truly live life, you have to take responsibility and be accountable for your very own life. And that includes choosing to whether remain in your cage or take that step out of your invisible cage. Remember, it is only you who holds the key to be free. You only have two choices in life. The first one is to continue again, living life as a prisoner of your very own cage, or experience living life to its fullest by courageously taking that step out of your cage. You can either be comfortable with pain or pained with comfort. Life offers rewards and lessons for every choice that you make. You have the power to choose. What will you choose? So thank you for joining me today. And as I close, I invite you to be back tomorrow, same time in same digital space for Coach Lynn. Her topic is how to get a breakthrough. To bring home, of course, the D-Cup Coffee experience. Connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661 for your food and beverage order. And of course, you may also visit us, visit the Cup Coffee Republic. We are located inside Pioneer Center compound at Capitolio, Pasig City. And once again, I am inviting you to join and be part of the Be Learning Journey for Living Smarter with the monthly perks. So see you tomorrow. Love bam boom, love bam boom, love bam boom. Bye-bye.